Good morning, conscious mothers. It's Honor here coming with a really important topic for you for today. I'm excited we're going to be diving into what happens, who pays the price when we ignore our own needs. So say hi when you come on. Tell me where you're watching from so I know who's with me. And let's dive into this topic of what's really self care. But self care is a term that people misunderstand and misinterpret all the time, especially moms. We think, I know I've got to do the self care like it's a thing to do. And we're already in so many moms who are struggling with high stress, anxiety, and overwhelm are already deep in doing mode. Doing mode is the one mode that you're mostly in. And I want to raise your awareness today and consciousness about another mode, which is opposite of doing mode. So we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to give you a little analogy, a mental picture to deliver this message today, which I use a lot of times with my clients. So the question is, who pays the price when we ignore our needs? Before we can answer that, we want to take a step back and say, what does that mean to take care of my needs versus ignore my needs? And the reason why I'm starting here is because I know for so many of my clients, moms who are totally stressed out, strung out, burnt out, especially through the end of this year, we're coming to the end of a long stretch of burnout and a lot of moms being running on fumes, being really depleted. And in this space, there is a an awareness that I'm tired, an awareness that I'm exhausted, and for many moms reaching out to me now, a, an awareness bigger than it's ever been that I don't know how to take care of my needs, that I don't know how to take care of me, that when we used to do self-care before the pandemic, it was to leave the house, to visit with friends, to dish with other moms, to vent to people, to collaborate on what's not working, to listen and empathize with people. Okay, so that was an escape before, or a massage or a pedicure. Those things were more readily available to us before. And all of those, you guys, are forms of escaping the normal day to day. Can you hear that? And when I talk to moms, what they're saying is, what you're saying is, because I can't escape, I've realized I'm really miserable in my life as I've created it. Not because of the pandemic, but for years leading up to the pandemic, I have been unhappy. I have felt lost. I have felt like I wasn't meeting my needs, that we somehow, my partner and I, got on this trajectory where I do all this, he or she does all that, and there's no real connection in relationship. And so I'm just angry, frustrated, run down, depleted a lot of the time. Maybe not all the time. Maybe there are bursts of joy, but there's not everyday joy, right? So when you're in that place, you're scraping by, you're in survival mode, your body is in fight or flight mode a lot, you're snapping, you're yelling, you're bearing down and just kind of buckling down and pushing, forcing through. Okay, that's how it looks when you do not know how to recognize or take care of your own needs. Now, what kind of needs do we have? Let's talk about that for a minute so that you can start to recognize in you which areas you're ignoring and which areas you're aware of. First category, physical needs. Physical needs like eating healthy food, getting enough sleep, being able to fall asleep. Maybe your mind is when you try to lay down and quiet down at night, thinking of all the things you did wrong, guilt tripping you. How is your sleep? Are you eating healthy food? Are you moving your body? Are you giving your body the movement that it needs? Are you following the impulses and the nudges intuitively that you're getting in the ways to take care of your body? Okay, nutrition, water, um, whatever vitamins and supplements you need, movement, sleep, all the things. Okay. Or are you ignoring those because you're so depleted that you are drinking a bottle of wine a day? Or you are reaching for the painkillers or the anti inflammatories or the sugar, refined sugars, processed foods, um, whatever helps you escape. That's the physical. Other areas where you have needs, your mental health. What kind of thoughts are you chewing on all day? Negative, desperate, judgments. I can't believe he, or how does she, or what's wrong with me? Those are all judgments which increase our misery. They do. They make us feel alone, separate, not heard, not seen. So that's mental trash. Um, our emotional health is another realm. Our emotional health. So, how are you feeling on a daily basis? That one's pretty easy to answer for most people. How are you feeling on a daily basis? Are you tending to your emotional needs? Are you attending to that emotional energy in you? Or is it kind of just dropping a lot? Is it low a lot? Is it in the gutter a lot? Are you dipping into anger, frustration, a lot of disempowered beliefs that go with the disempowered thoughts? I can't, I'm not enough, there's not enough, this is too hard, this is a straw, I can't, so more of I can't, um, there's not enough here for me. Do you wander into those woods, those dark woods of the thoughts and the feelings? Other big, heavy feelings, shame, guilt, I'm not doing it right, I'm failing, what's wrong with me? There must be something wrong with me. Other people can do this, but I can't. That's low emotional home, meaning you're not taking care of your emotional needs. If any of these are ringing bells for you, these are areas where you're not tending to your needs physically, mentally, emotionally. And lastly, I'll name the spiritual realm. This is one that doesn't hit home for everyone, but if you know that you have a heaviness on your heart, that you're not living to your fullest potential, that's a spiritual calling. That's a calling that you're not living up to your spiritual sort of calibration. You're not attuning to the truth of who you are. You are not abiding in your faith in the way that you wish you were. If you're in doubt or in fear a lot rather than in trust and in safety and security, then you're not tending to spiritual needs. Okay, deep breath. Just feel through those. You can self assess. Where are you on those? And give yourself a scale. Oh, hi, Laura. Hi, Liza. Hi, you guys. I'm glad you're here with me. So feel through those. Where are they hitting home for you? Are there pockets in those areas where you know you're not living your best life? You feel you're betraying yourself every day by not fixing that. And so here's where we go into okay, so fix it mode, pushing and forcing through that running on empty, but trying to fix it, trying to figure it out. That's very ego based um, drive. And that's kind of the lower masculine energy that most women here now are ascribing to. So until you've really done the inner work to learn a new way to be in flow, that most of us are trying to accomplish through that masculine, lower masculine energy of pushing, forcing, making it fit, figuring it out, analyzing, really living in this part of our being instead of, which is a more doing, instead of our whole being, our physical, physiological, our emotional, and our mental self, spiritual, like all as one, right? Okay, you guys still with me? So if you had, um, let's just say you had an old car or old truck. I really always envision like a really old beater pickup truck when I give this analogy. Let's just look at the analogy of there's an old beater truck that that you love and have had for a long time, and then one day it stops running. It just won't go at all. And you can't get rid of it. You just can't part with it. You really want to be back in that truck, and you want to be just able to enjoy it and use it again. And so you make the decision to take it in to the mechanic, and you have to have it towed in because it's just dead. It's so tired. It can't go at all. The engine won't even turn over. So you take it into the mechanic and give the mechanic your story and tell them what you that you want the truck to run again. You want to be back in shape and on the road within a week's time. Great, it's agreed on. You leave, they call you back, you come back to pick up your truck. And first of all, it looks amazing. It looks gorgeous. New paint job, shiny wheels, new tires. It looks road ready. You're super psyched. You get in to drive it off the lot, and when you turn the key, nothing happens. The engine doesn't turn over. You're not going anywhere in that vehicle. It looks amazing on the outside, but nothing is happening that's different on the inside. So the engine won't turn on, the lights won't turn on, nothing is happening. It's still just out. So when you speak to the mechanics and say, like, what's up? Their answer is that they got it ready for you. It looks great, doesn't it? It looks so good. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it gorgeous? It's like new. It's gotten all this love. It's gotten all this sort of treatment. And with the new paint job and the new wheels, it's so amazing. And all you can notice is that you can't go anywhere in it. You can't use it. It's like not working for you. It's not going to accomplish the job that you need it to accomplish. Okay, this is my self-care analogy. Why? Because when we get a pedicure, a massage, or even connect with friends, but the topic and the focus is what's not working in our lives, or we're just venting to them or hearing them vent about the weeds, about what's not working, about how messed up everything is, about um, everything that is low and negative in your life, what we're doing is slapping a coat of paint on the outside of the old beater truck, or we're changing the tires. A lot of people do this when they just take care of one part of themselves. And it can be something as great as seeing a naturopath for healing gut health, which is an important aspect of overall healing, or going to someone for brain health, or seeing your holistic practitioner to heal your immune system or your nervous system. Those are all wonderful things in and of themselves. But you can do all that and spend thousands of dollars and years of your life. And every time you have that healing that feels so good, but you come back home with your family, with your children, and you still feel the same level of frustration, of exhaustion, of resentment, nothing under the hood has changed, you guys. And that's what I'm seeing over and over again. We have this idea that if I take care of my weight or my diet or my gut health, that I'm going to be a happy mom. And what you're missing in that is that relationships are about emotional health in you. My relationships are a direct reflection of how happy and healthy I am within me, how fulfilled I am within myself. My children are as happy as I am. My husband is as healthy overall as I am. And sometimes I know that I say these things and people hear them as, oh my God, that's a lot of pressure. Yeah, you can look at it that way. You're welcome to look at it that way. But the reason why you see it that way is because you're living in an old paradigm which says everything hinges on me. All the pressure's on me. I'm responsible for everything. I've got to do everything. Why do I have to heal and they just get to kick back? Why does my spouse just get to like go play poker and I have to do the inner work? That pisses me off. I hear that a lot. And the only thing I have to say to that is like, that's a lot of negativity. That's a lot of complaining. That's a lot of disempowered thinking. So no wonder you are unhappy. That if you're vibrating at, how come I have to do the work and they get to just kick back? You're denying yourself your own happiness and fulfillment. That's the only thing I hear when people say that. Oh, wow, you don't want to be happy? Right? That's it. Because the happier and stronger we get as moms, the more we can call others to task on where they're not showing up for us from love. The more we can call on them from love and say, I need this from you and I need it now. I don't accept that behavior. That's beneath us. I will not listen to you speaking to me that way. I'm walking away now. And I'm not upset either way. But I'm just saying my standard is here and you guys need to rise to meet it. Otherwise, you're going to be put out because I'm not living this way with hate anymore or with abuse anymore. I'm not living in it's all my fault that this family is a chaotic mess anymore. I'm not buying that story anymore. So when we deny ourselves our own happiness, meaning when we ignore our emotional needs, when we ignore our mental needs, we are actually sentencing ourselves to unhappiness. And guess who pays the price for that? Who pays the price for my unhappiness in my family? It's obvious I'm paying the price, but who else? My marriage? We probably would have been divorced a long time ago had I not started taking care of myself. Your kids? Your kids are paying the price for you not taking care of yourself. Let's talk about how, because some of you don't know this. How are your children paying a price for when you don't rebuild the engine under your hood? So think about this. When you ignore your own emotional needs, your own mental health, your own spiritual needs, when you ignore those, your mood is impatient. You might be snapping at your kids. You might be inclined to blame your partner or in front of the kids or fight with your partner in front of the kids. So what people miss all the time is that children are internalizing all of that. They're internalizing the blame, and they will blame others for their problems as they grow. They're internalizing the disempowerment that you are embodying. So they also will assume they don't know how to take responsibility for their life. They will assume that they can't. They also can't change their situation or circumstance, that life has them by the nose, that they can't live in happiness either. If mom can't, then like they're going to have to go on their own spiritual healing journey to figure that piece out. They will seek partners who model and embody the qualities in your relationship with your partner or with yourself. So if you're beating yourself up, if you're blaming your partner, if you're angry a lot, they're going to hold those and they're going to carry them into their future relationships. Okay, the reason why I'm spelling all of this out is because we think that by not taking care of ourselves, that we're just punishing ourselves. You are. But you are also denying your children the example of a parent who is healthy and vibrant and strong. And then you're denying them the example of how to be those things for themselves. And this is what gets us to awaken. It's what woke me up. To realize that I'm teaching my kids by what they see me do, not by what I say. And not by what I say to my husband, not by how I tell them and explain to them about my values. And they hear none of that. In one ear, out the other. They will not retain any of that. The thing they will retain is the feeling in their body when you yell at your partner. That's what they hold. And you guys know this because you can feel it right now. You remember having that as a kid. You still remember what it feels like to hear one parent scream at the other or to remember being yelled at yourself. You remember that. That's what we hold. We carry the wounding forward with us. We bring it into our families we create, and then we enact those wounds until we can admit it's not working. To slap a coat of paint on the outside and pretend it's all okay. It's not working anymore. To drink bottles of wine every week and to bitch to our friends and to put a new fresh coat of paint on. The engine is not working. And so the only way to create change is to accept that what we're doing is not giving us the result that we want. So if you're in a place where you notice that what you're doing just isn't working, that's a message. That's guidance. That's a communication from your higher self to you that's saying, there's more for you here. And it isn't selfish to want it, because what you're doing is some is passing down patterns that are going to hurt the kids, right? This is what you're doing feels so bad. The guilt is so big because your higher self is trying to show you something. That anxiety is a wake up call. The guilt is a wake up call to say, there's something here that you're handing down that is not the truth of who you are. It's not who you want your kids to be. It doesn't match the vision you have of your happy, light, fun family life. And you guys, like, it's not just okay to see that, admit that. It's mandatory to see that and admit that, and then to realize that there must be something else out there if this isn't working for me. And I see a lot of people fall off at this point and think like it's too good to be true. There isn't a better way. There isn't a way for me to feel happy, connected to my kids, to feel joy every day, to respect my partner and be respected by my partner. It's too much to ask because we're used to living in this tiny space backed into a corner. So to imagine anything more is just intimidating. It's scary. It's maybe terrifying. The mind says you won't be in control. The only way to survive is just to keep controlling everything and trying and fighting and forcing to control everything the way that you do. This is the only shot you've got. And it just isn't. It just isn't. To learn to trust yourself in a deeper way is the answer. The answer is to learn to take real emotional and mental care of yourself, meaning rebuilding the engine under the hood. And so if you're feeling that, like, I'm good where I am, I don't have the bandwidth to do anything else, at the minimum, start tuning into what aspect of your existence, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional health, where are you in denial? Where are you numbing out? Where are you scrolling? Where are you eating sugar? Where are you bitching and moaning to sort of express and dump and vent the stress? But you know it finds you again because it's coming from in here. So we're always constantly recreating it. Even when we're spewing it out, then we create more. All right. So the place to start is looking at those four realms. Where am I not serving myself? Where am I hurting myself? Where am I hurting my kids? If I am in a low emotional place, that depression is getting passed on to my kids. If I'm in an angry place, they're not getting the best of me. I spoke with someone recently who knows that her children, and this is very common, her children are desperate for her attention. So hammering at her like incessantly, calling and calling her name, fighting with each other to get more of mom's attention, desperate to get that connection. Why? Because mom's empty. Mom's empty. She has nothing to give. She has no capacity to sit, to love, to drop in, to wonder, to awe about her children, that there's just no juice there. Just empty, tired. I'm giving and giving and giving to the breaking point. What's missing? I don't know how to give to me. And you cannot be present for your kids who are going to become anxious and annoying and desperate for your attention. You can't ever fill it up. You can't work hard enough to fill that up until you realize, oh my God, it's about me filling up. That's the answer, you guys. That's the solution to all of this. Filling myself up, healing my wounding, my emotional, my mental, my physical, my spiritual self have to be in alignment in order for me to be a match for the vision of who I want to be as a mama. So I want to hear your questions about this. I want to have conversation about it. I want to help you to find out where to start. Some of you are ready to go straight to book a clarity call with me now. The people who are ready for that, and if you watch this and you're wondering like, oh my God, what do I do with that now? Because you need guidance. You need a plan. You need a proven strategy. You need results that are predictable. You need somebody to get you there. Then let's find out if you're a match for Awaken Motherhood. Let's find out if you're ready to truly prioritize yourself at that level and change what's not working. And if you are, and I'll help you discover if you are ready, and if you're there, then we can go on to talk about Awaken Motherhood. So go straight to book a call with me, a clarity call. If you're not sure, drop some comments and some questions here or message me, and let's just see where you're at and if that makes sense to go on to explore. Because on the call, we just mostly spend most of the time talking about what's not working and what do you really want instead. And if I can help you to get there and I know what the answer is, then I'll be very honest with you about that. And if I know that now's not the time or I'm not the best person to help you resolve what you're stuck in, then I'm going to point you in another direction. So ways to know if you're ready. I don't know. How committed are you to resolving the everyday stress you're in? How committed? How ready are you to feel good? Are you ready enough to feel good that you're going to be teachable and coachable, that you're going to um, really want to hire an expert to show you the way? Then book a call. Let's talk about it. I may not invite you into the program, but if I do, you want to be at the point where um, you are knowing you need and want help. That's really the sort of precursor to all of this. Like, what, I'm in pain, I'm in struggle, I'm in suffering, and I don't like it. Then reach out. Okay? Otherwise, stay in that first step of what's not working in these different 4 areas of my life and start tracking and start seeing, where are you numbing out? Where are you escaping? Where are you dodging? Where are you avoiding? Sitting with the discomfort of, oh my gosh, this is painful, it's not working. That's the stuff that we resolve. We resolve that stuff. We resolve chronic pain. We resolve the heaviness, the depression, the anxiety. All of those things are aspects of this big gooey mess of what happened to me when I became a mom and started taking care of everybody else and just have no idea how to fill me up. So all of that is a part of the same kind of big gooey mess of motherhood overwhelm and anxiety, and that's what we resolve. So call to action, drop your comments below. Thanks, you guys, for commenting. Yay, I see friends here. Thanks for showing up. And hi, Terry. Nice to see you in this talk. So glad you're here. Thanks for commenting, you guys. Hi, Maria. So let's hear from you. Questions, comments, anything you heard that really stuck for you today, drop it below and I'll circle back and chat with you guys. Message me if you're curious to know, is the clarity call right for me? And if you're ready to take that next step, I've got your back. We'll do that and spend time for you. And just lots of love, meeting you for wherever you are, and just wanting to really give you this message that wherever you are, it's okay. Wherever you are, it's okay. You're okay, and it's okay to be where you are. So permission to feel, permission to be where you are, permission to struggle, permission to want to fix it. All of it. It's okay. Okay, love to you. I'll see you guys again soon.